Beneath the glory of Sparta's warriors and battles lies a much darker truth. What if Sparta's greatest enemy was never Athens or Persia, but something far more ancient, buried beneath their own feet? What made the Helots remain enslaved for centuries without revolt? And why did Sparta refuse to build walls, even while the world around them was burning? Subscribe to Best of History and Mythology, leave a like, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the secrets of the ancient world we uncover every week. Beneath the fertile soil of Laconia, a silent war unfolded, one hidden from the great chronicles of Greece. The Black Earth, so rich and vital, was worked by the Helots, an enslaved people whose blood fed the prosperity of Sparta. Yet their presence raises a haunting question. How could a population so vast and oppressed remain chained for centuries without a single successful uprising? Official records describe the Helots as conquered Messenians, subdued through superior Spartan force. But unearthed fragments of ancient songs and rural myths reveal a different, more disturbing narrative. Some Helots, it seems, were not simply defeated enemies. They were descendants of an earlier civilization, one that had once ruled the Eurotas Valley before the Spartans even arrived. Helots lived under brutal conditions. They were publicly humiliated, beaten without cause, and even ritually murdered during the Cryptia, a secretive Spartan rite cloaked in terror. Every autumn, Sparta declared ritual war on the Helots, legally allowing their silent elimination without guilt or retribution. Yet no Spartan record fully explains the origins of this sanctioned slaughter. The Black Earth of Laconia held more than crops. It held whispers of ancient unrest. Farmers unearthed strange relics, obsidian blades, broken idols of unfamiliar gods, only to quickly rebury them, fearing the anger of spirits long thought dead. Legends persisted among the Helots themselves, passed in hushed voices. They spoke of a promise made by the earth, a prophecy that the land would someday rise against the Spartans, reclaiming its rightful heirs. Strange disappearances, unexplained fires in remote fields, and sudden floods were all attributed to this growing unrest. Historians have often marveled at Sparta's obsession with military readiness, viewing it as a fear of foreign invasion. But some scholars now suggest a darker theory. The Spartans were not training to defend against distant enemies. They were preparing for the inevitable revolt of the people buried beneath their own feet. In the end, the Helots were more than laborers. They were the living memory of a time Sparta sought to erase, and the silent ticking clock of a vengeance that no shield wall could forever withstand. Would you live in a society that trains every day, not to fight invaders, but to keep down the people it fears beneath its own soil? Share your thoughts in the comments after watching. Among the many enigmas of Sparta, few are more perplexing than the city's absence of defensive walls. In an era where towering fortifications defined the strength of a city, Sparta stood exposed, trusting only in its warriors for protection. The official explanation, repeated by poets and philosophers, claimed that Spartans themselves were the city's living walls. Yet beneath this noble image lurks a far stranger truth. Ancient accounts hint that the absence of walls was not a matter of pride, but of necessity. Local legends, preserved in faded fragments and cryptic hymns, tell of a time when Sparta did attempt to build grand stone barriers. According to these whispers, every stone laid was found scattered by morning, as if unseen forces rejected the city's attempts to enclose itself. Priests warned that building walls would awaken old spirits slumbering beneath the earth, entities tied to the ancient bloodlines that the Spartans had displaced. To enclose Sparta was to trap these restless forces inside, inviting catastrophe upon all who dwelled within. The elders, keepers of forbidden traditions, spoke of a sacred covenant. Sparta must remain open to the winds, the stars, and the unseen. To build walls was to break that pact, and to break the pact was to summon devastation beyond the reach of sword or spear. Evidence of these fears lingers still. In the ruins of ancient Laconian settlements, archaeologists have uncovered strange, abandoned foundations, partial structures suggesting attempts to build walls, abruptly halted and left to decay. The few inscriptions found nearby bear ominous warnings. Bind not the living with the dead. Sparta's military readiness was not just preparation for human foes. It was a defense against the possibility of an internal awakening, a resurgence of something the walls might trap inside. By leaving their city open, the Spartans preserved the delicate balance between the living world and whatever ancient forces lurked beneath their feet. In the end, the forbidden walls of Sparta were not missing because of arrogance. They were missing because of an ancient fear, one that no army, no king, and no law could ever hope to contain. In Sparta, every citizen warrior was required to dine not with his family, but with his assigned military group at what were known as the syssitia, communal mess halls that formed the invisible backbone of Spartan society. To outsiders, these gatherings seemed simple, meals of black broth and barley bread, hardened by necessity. Yet the true purpose of these messes was far more unsettling, hidden beneath layers of ritual and silence. Each mess group was carefully selected, binding men together not by friendship, but by unwritten criteria known only to the ephors, the shadowy overseers of Spartan life. Entry into a mess required unanimous approval. A single black stone in the voting urn meant rejection, a social death sentence no young Spartan could survive. It was within these dimly lit halls that the real trials of loyalty began. Words were weighed heavier than weapons. Conversations were coded, seemingly innocent remarks masking deeper meanings. A misplaced word, a glance too long, a hesitation at the wrong moment could spell quiet exile, or worse. Ancient fragments hint that the syssitia were more than dining clubs. They were stages for secret oaths and silent vetting. Certain nights, especially when storms raged over Taygetus, the messes turned eerily solemn. The youngest members were made to recite ancient pledges in languages even older than Dorian Greek, while elders listened in stone-faced judgment. Occasionally, a member would vanish. No announcement was made, no question was asked. His bowl remained empty until another filled his place, and the mess continued as if he had never existed. These disappearances were rarely spoken of, but silent glances told volumes. Among the few surviving relics of these gatherings are blackened iron tokens, etched with symbols unknown to classical Greek culture. Some scholars theorize they were markers of rank, or perhaps proof of secret initiations deeper than any military code. The secret messes were not about food or camaraderie. They were crucibles where Spartan men were molded into guardians of something older and darker than their city itself, a bond sealed not by shared meals, but by shared silence and unseen chains. If these secrets from ancient Sparta fascinate you as much as they do us, make sure you're subscribed to Best of History and Mythology, leave a like, and activate the bell so you won't miss our next revelations from the shadows of history. Throughout Sparta's rise to dominance, no decision of true importance was made without consulting the Oracle of Delphi. To the casual observer, it seemed merely a ritual, a mark of tradition. But hidden beneath the sacred pilgrimages was a far more complex and troubling relationship, one bound by fear, prophecy, and secrets not meant for common ears. The Pythia, shrouded in fumes from deep within the temple, spoke words cloaked in riddles. Yet, whenever Sparta sought her guidance, the answers they received were eerily precise. Too precise, some would say, to come from mere chance. Behind closed doors, the ephors recorded these messages in scrolls now lost to history, guarded with a fervor that suggested the oracle revealed far more than the future of battles. Fragments from ancient manuscripts suggest that the oracle warned Sparta of more than foreign threats. She spoke of dangers that stirred beneath the mountains, ancient enemies not of flesh and blood, but of spirit and earth. One chilling prophecy, cited by a rare 4th century source, urged, "Guard the land, not the city. Guard the spirit, not the sword." Why would a city built entirely on war be advised to guard something invisible? Mysterious alterations in Spartan policies followed certain visits to Delphi. Sudden withdrawals from military campaigns, unexpected treaties, and uncharacteristic acts of mercy hint at knowledge received that never entered the public record. Something unseen guided their hand. Some scholars believe the Pythia's warnings hinted at an ancient pact sealed long before Lycurgus ever walked the earth, a covenant between Sparta and powers unknown. Powers that demanded vigilance not just against external enemies, but against forgotten forces buried in time. Evidence of these deeper messages surfaced in rare votive offerings left at Delphi by Spartan envoys. Small stone carvings shaped not like warriors, but like distorted, almost monstrous beings. Offerings to appease what words could not describe. The oracle's true role was not to guide Sparta to victory. It was to keep the city on a narrow, precarious path, away from a darkness far older than any rival polis. A darkness that even the sharpest spear could never pierce. Do you think powerful leaders today still hide behind rituals and traditions to cover up deeper fears or ancient debts? Let us know your opinion in the comments. Your voice adds to the story. In 490 BC, the Persian Empire launched a massive invasion, landing on the plains of Marathon to crush the spirit of free Greece. Athens, desperate and outnumbered, sent a swift runner to Sparta, begging for aid. Yet when the call came, Sparta, renowned for its martial prowess, delayed. The reason given? Religious observances tied to the sacred festival of Carneia. But for a people who worshipped war above all, this excuse raised more questions than it answered. Historical records state that Spartan law forbade military action during Carneia unless dire omens permitted it. Yet whispers from lesser-known chronicles hint at another, far older fear. Ancient Spartan seers, consulting omens rarely spoken of, warned that to march during Carneia risked awakening a curse buried beneath the old fields of Laconia, a curse that could spread through blood spilled beyond their lands. Some accounts even suggest that when the Spartan council debated sending troops, the earth itself trembled lightly underfoot, an omen interpreted not as divine wrath, but as a reminder of forgotten pacts sealed long before Persia rose to power. Archaeological discoveries near ancient Amyclae reveal temples hastily reinforced during the time of Marathon, not against Persian forces, but as if expecting internal catastrophe. Shrines dedicated to strange, unnamed deities were fortified, sealed from public view, and offerings of black bulls, rare for Sparta, were recorded in fragmentary inscriptions. It was as if Sparta feared something more than losing a battle. They feared breaking a silent truce with forces their ancestors had long ago bound with blood and silence. When Sparta finally marched, it was too late. Athens had already achieved an impossible victory, standing alone against the Persian tide. Officially, Sparta praised Athenian bravery. Unofficially, they remained silent, retreating into the ritual shadows of their land. The mysterious absence at Marathon was not an act of indifference, cowardice, or strict religious devotion. It was a choice, driven by ancient fears too dangerous to name, revealing a side of Sparta that no enemy, not even mighty Persia, could ever truly understand. Some truths aren't buried, they're hidden in plain sight. Thank you for watching. See you in the next legend here on Best of History and Mythology.